Good morning. Good morning, good morning and welcome. We are still in Africa. Sturdy wall and beautiful beaded chairs. Tribal chairs, I call them. I still say to you condolences if you have lost or are losing people at this time. And it's very clear that we've gone up a gear again. In the UK, I have been locked down here for quite a long time this time, an extended stay in South Africa, and we began with a very severe lockdown. I think we had 2 months of not being able to go out and about at all, and we had a very short time in the morning when we could walk, and I think very small visits to shops with masks and police roadblocks. So we are not crowing. There is no crowing here, ever. But we do understand about the business of lockdown. This small video is about fealty. It's about rejoicing in the heart and being faithful to your heart. Please be patient and please be faithful to your heart. They are the messages of today. We've spent quite a lot of time in past years in the West going out. I love going out. I love going out to dinner. And I love going out to coffee. And I'm very sorry to my UK lovely people. My family is there, although my soul family is in South Africa. I'm very sorry that you're shut in. And we've done shut in down here. We know it. I say we had the 2 months and then we had very great restrictions still for another 2. And we're only just coming to 1, just for a few moments now. Level 1, tier 1. If you can, first of all, distract yourself nicely. By that I mean perhaps not horror movies. And try to get going again with the inner voice. It's very wise at these times. So, what I would like to do today is say, obviously it helps hugely if you can do some exercise. I very rarely have a temper these days, very, very rarely, and I did have quite a big one earlier in life. But when you are angry, your liver gets whacked. It is a great whack in here. And I experienced it recently when I had seen something that made me very sad and made me angry and I couldn't say. And I brought it home with me and within minutes my liver was hurting. It goes straight to the liver. So anger, what do we do with anger? Well, if you can bash a pillow, bash a pillow. But exercise is great. And if you have a bed, you can do some exercises on your bed and standing up, and just go with the flow. Even if you've never been to an exercise class, just do what your body tells you to do. And dance. If you can dance, dance. You may not feel like it, but put on something that you love and dance to it. Even on the spot. Get rid of the anger. Similarly with frustration. And frustration also goes to the liver, but it is trickier still because it implodes if you keep it in. And you don't want to go and hit someone. That is not a wise procedure at the moment. So you again exercise. If you can walk, if you can run, if you can skip or dance or anything, do it. Please do it. It will release it. You want things to be released. Because if you've looked at this website before, you will know that the cells have a memory and all of this lives in every cell. They remember as one, they remember as a whole body, and certain organs like the liver get it. Frustration is a difficult one because you don't want it to implode. Quite a little while ago here we said that energy going back on itself is the worst sort of energy to come across. We mentioned what it was to be cynical and how I didn't like very much dealing with cynics. And of course on top of energy that goes back on itself, all the defense mechanisms build, and they are lethal. They are lethal because they're carcinogenous, they produce cancer, and they are terrible for your nervous system, which is already taking a big bashing. I salute you for listening to this, and I salute you for doing so well. We are absolutely behind you, and if you have children, if you have young people who are at home, they are also feeling these things, so please don't forget them. One of the things that I want to say today is it is possible to find your balance. Now, when I think of balance, I think of a plane coming in and it's on the landing strip. It's trying to get onto the landing strip and the wind is gusting and gusting. It's probably on automatic pilot, but even so, there are two great wings and they have to be balanced very carefully. They have to be balanced because the body of the plane, which is here for you, your heart and your centre here, if they're not balanced, then everything goes out of kilter and it keeps on resetting out of kilter. That's very tricky. Now, it may surprise you, but it is very helpful to have your fulcrum filled with something good, and you want it to be filled with love, and that's not particularly easy at the moment, but try. But try putting your vulnerability there. If you are not used to dealing with your vulnerability, or even knowing you've got any, then please forgive me, but try, because this is a time of great levelling. No one can know what happens next. No one can know whether their number is on something that's coming. No one can know how anything will be. And I hear about resistance training and resilience training, and it's great for resilience. We're getting very strong. But even if you're strong, you have to keep your, please, you have to keep your vulnerability, because it is your currency. That's your real money. If you are in a car crash, it doesn't matter if you are signed up to the most shishi medical schemes. You will not, in the first instance, go to a private hospital. You will go to a state hospital, and there you will have your equivalent of the National Health Service. You will have, I'm talking about England at the moment, the UK at the moment, you will have your beautiful NHS people, and we know the amount of suffering and difficulty they have gone through, and they're being on the front line. So, when you're vulnerable on the floor, or you're vulnerable on a stretcher, or you're in the corridor, or you're just going to be helped, you can't actually flex, forgive me, you can't flex a bank account at that moment because you need the help of people near you. And if they're unkind and you're bleeding or you're about to die, and we do know if we're about to die, actually, you are not going to be thinking of your diamonds at home. And I'm not having a go at one group of society. Your diamonds can be your children. Your diamonds can be your garden, your home, your lovely dog. Your diamonds can be anything. But at that moment, you will not be thinking of your diamonds. You will be thinking, oh, good heavens, I need some help. And the help will be coming to you. And the corridor of help will include your vulnerability. Now, if you can keep your vulnerability in here, right down here, listen to my heart going, my voice going down to my heart. If you can keep your vulnerability in here, bring it out, really with respect as often as you can, because it's the basis of compassion, it's the basis of truth, it is the dangerous zone when it's covered over, locked in, shut down, and it is even more dangerous when it goes back in on itself. We'll do the next video just now when I'm going to talk about a second fulcrum and a second strategy for your balance. Thank you.